Hi YouTube! So today I decided to make a pocket letter, and it's gonna be a full pocket letter, but yeah, I will use some full papers. As you can see, it's a voiceover and I never do voiceovers, so I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but I made a Julie knitting doll as well from the one I got from somebody. Thank you very much. I'm still like all excited about the new doll. However, I want to make a pocket letter for fall. I haven't done one in so long. And here I'm showing you the Julie knitting doll I made. I popped up pieces of her dress right there. And I got a pocket letter sleeve and it was like, where are they? I have no idea because I haven't made a pocket letter in so long. Okay. So let's just do this and try the voiceover, and I hope you like that. I will need my mat, of course, because I'm not going to do it on my desk. And I'm also looking for the papers I'm going to use. So I will go with the normal white cardstock for the background paper because I wanted to layer the designer paper. And all I'm going to do is just cut it to the size. And truthfully, I wasn't sure if it's 2.5 by 3.5 because I haven't made them in so long, you know. So I will just cut all the paper to size. I decided to use some distress ink, and this is, I don't know, I don't remember the name of it. I know I showed it just now to you, but I couldn't see myself. However, you've seen the name of it, and I just try on a little scrap right there and see if it's the color I like, and it is, and it's rusty something, right? I'm not sure right now. However, I will start out with just distressing the edges here because I don't like just white paper, and I never did. So mostly if I like the clean look, but the super white paper is not for me. So all I'm gonna do is just distress it. And yeah, I'll do it to my liking right here. And I am looking for some designer paper I want to use on top. I decided to go with Miss Sparkle & Co. I bought it last year. And I wanted the leaf paper because it's so pretty and it looks like fall to me, you know. So I will cut it. I did cut it slightly smaller. It's 2.25 by 3.25, as you can see, because I want the white paper to look to be visible on the sides, of course. And I also decided to punch the corners. I have this Daiso corner punch. It's not the best punch ever, but it works. So first I was gonna do all corners, but I figured no, I kinda just wanna go with 2 of them. So I did punch 2 corners right there. And I looked if it's big enough or small enough for my card. And it was, but I didn't like how the white was shining through the hearts. So I decided to just ink it up a little bit more right there in the corners, so it's not super white paper in the hearts. So I'm just trying to get it to my liking there. And I also like the corners on the edges to be darker. So I wanted them to stick out a little more. So I went ahead and put more of the distress ink on there. Some distress ink on the edges of the smaller card because my paper cutter is not the best, and even though I exchange the blades all the time, it's I don't know, I just don't like the edge sometimes that it cuts. So once I have figured out how I want it to be, all I'm gonna do is just to glue it down. But before I do so, I just took a couple pieces That reminds me of fall. I don't have much full ephemera or anything like that. So I had the couple pieces somebody sent to me, and I was trying to figure out what I'm gonna put on top. I did not glue the paper down because I decided to put some washi around it, and I needed to look for something that I can put on top there. And I was actually torn. I wanted to use the leaves and the pumpkin, and I just wanted to use all of it, but I wasn't sure. I will end up using the pumpkin though. It did take me like 5 minutes to decide what I want to put on top, but then I stuck with the pumpkin right there, and I decided to put some washi underneath. And to me, I cannot, for the life of me, I cannot put anything straight on my card, so I have to measure it, like put it on my mat and try to do it. So I chose the washi with some foiling on it. I'm not sure where I got this one. And the pumpkin looked so super yellow that I didn't like that, so I decided to distress the edges. And once I started, I also thought I don't like the middle, so I decided to actually distress the whole pumpkin. You can't see it on here, but I'm just distressing the pumpkin itself, basically, right there. So if you hear something in the background, it's Luna and BJ, so I apologize for that. There is no time without my dogs, right? So yeah, once I figured out what I really want to do, all I did was to use some paper glue here, I believe, and yeah, because I still have to kill a couple bottles, so I decided to use it here because it's just paper on paper. And all I did is to put some glue on it and glue it down onto my card. Hopefully straight. And then I will also glue the pumpkin. I realized that the pumpkin is actually a sticker, so I don't really have to use any glue. Where is the pumpkin? Oh yeah, I had to make it flat a little because I didn't work with paper glue for a while now, and it's not the best glue out there, I must say. So here you can see that I wanted to go with the art glitter glue, but then I realized that it's a sticker, so I just took the backing off and I stuck it right there onto the card. And I thought it came out really pretty, All we need for the card is some bling. Bling is a must-have, and I wanted to go with the yellow bling, but then I figured that something dark yellow or orangey would look better, and I keep my bling in the boxes like that. I think I showed you in my Organize With Me videos how I organized all of my bling, and I love it because I can always find the color I need. So I decided to put some of it on the washi tape on the bottom and the top, and I'm just trying to get everything straight. Oh my god, I'm like, everything I do is crooked, so yeah. I'm always happy if something turns out to be straight. The bling I got from AliExpress, I'm pretty sure about that. So I got a bunch from there. I got a bunch from everywhere. So what am I gonna do? Oh, I had to write down something I wanted to print out, but I ended up not printing anything because I liked it just as it was actually when the pocket letter was finished. So there is my first card, and I will stick it in there just to make sure, I always like to put them into the sleeves just to see. It inspires me. I see what I want to do next. And I really wanted to put my girl down there so I can go from there because she's the biggest piece on the pocket letter, and I thought it would be easier for me to just figure out what I want to have as a background and then go from there. And I knew that I want to put some cards or 2 cards in the background. So I just took the white ones and I distressed them just like I did with my first one. So I will go ahead and distress both pieces of paper here. And because I didn't want them to be just plain white with the distress on the edges, I decided to put some washi tape on there. And I have struggled a little bit again because I cannot get it straight. Or maybe it just doesn't look straight to me, but it is straight. I just couldn't. I used my mat and, you know, just for some measurement for myself. But I will put washi tape on both of the cards. I didn't film it, or I filmed it and I cut it just because it took so long. But finally I got it straight and I really liked how it looks like. You know, there is not too much. I think the girl is busy, like the colors I chose for her dress. So I really didn't want too much to be in the back. I didn't want to use pattern paper or anything like that. So I thought with the washi it came out really cute actually. And then I was trying to decide which kind of bling to use there, but I will stick to the one I used with a pumpkin at the end because, you know, I don't know, I just liked it. I thought it would go best with the whole thing. And I'm going to just stick it on the upper two corners of the card and on the lower two corners, so basically around the girl. And I'm gonna go in a triangle. First I wanted to just do like 2 of them, but then I realized that it might look better if I just go in a triangle, so I will end up doing that. I thought it came out perfect, like she was in a frame. And I love the bling, so I figured, okay, she can just be on there. And I do put some double-sided tape on there. You know, if the recipient gets a pocket letter, they can actually take her off, so she's not going to be stuck there forever. Maybe somebody wants to reuse her for something. I don't mind people reusing my art because I use things people send me, and I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not taking apart pocket letters, you know, but if there is something on the top or if there is something in the back, like a goodie or whatever, of course I'm going to use that. I think it's much better than just keep stuff in the back and not do anything. So everybody is free to use anything of my art. You know, if you want to take the girl off because you don't have a girl but you want to make a tag or whatever, I don't mind that. So, however, I took the next card and I wanted to make the bottom card right there. So I needed another piece of white paper, and I will just do the same thing. I punched the edges of the same decorative paper, so I have 2 of the same ones, and I'm going to distress the white one. And this time I'm smarter. I will distress the corners there a little more right away, so because I punched the hearts in the corners of the decorative paper. And I will also just stress the edges a little more, just because, you know, I like it this way. And yeah, the paper edges as well. I just don't like the white to look through, but it's one of my pet peeves, I guess. So I'm going to put the card on there. Oh yeah, I was going to decide. I couldn't. I really wanted to use this table scatter, you know. I wanted to use it on the very first card already with the pumpkin, and I just tried and tried, and for some reason nothing looked good enough for me, but I really wanted to put it onto a card, so I will look around here and try to organize them in a way where I actually like it, so I can use them. I am going to use them in my shaker, but that was not enough for me. I really wanted to use it somewhere else as well. And because I knew that I'm starting to overthink here a lot, I figured let me put some washi on the bottom there or in the middle there, so I have something on this card already. Sometimes if I'm stuck, I need to do a little bit of something to the card, so it helps me with my process, I guess. It just does. So I put this strip of washi right there, and because I was too lazy to get the paper glue, I decided to just use my double-sided tape here. And I haven't used this one in forever, and I totally forgot that I have my Scotch glue gun. No, it's not a glue gun. I forgot. However, I have it there, but I forgot it. And now I like the card, and now I have to somehow put the leaves on top of there. And I decided to use the art glitter glue because I know that double-sided tape won't hold it. And I also know that it's hard to do with paper glue or anything like that. But our glitter glue, up till now, it did glue everything. So I decided to just try that. It is tricky. It is tricky because it's table scatter. Of course, it's this, I don't know, is it a kind of metal or whatever, but it's hard to glue because everything is just sliding on there. But I did manage, and once I had it all down there, I did use my non-sticky paper, and first I thought if I just press on it, it's gonna be on there, but it didn't work. It needed a little bit more pressure and time, and I am not that patient, so I just put my Misty on top of there, and I just left it there for like half an hour or an hour because I was busy doing something else. So once I came back, I forgot to turn on my cam, but I really didn't do much until I remembered. So here I did cut myself 2 cards. I will end up using only one, and I cut them smaller than 2.5 by 3.5. I'm not sure. I think 2.25 by 3 inches. And what I want to do is to laminate them, and I will be using the sheets from the Dollar Tree. And I was trying to figure out how to laminate. I remember I did it once, so I just had to figure out how to do that. And I was just reading, and I checked if they will fit. Oh, that's why I made 2. You know, I will keep one just in case, but I didn't want to waste the sheet. So I made 2 cards, but I will, like I said, use only one here. And here I don't seem to do anything, but I'm actually reading. I'm reading how to do that, even though it was super simple and super easy. I just had to open it up and take this little strip out of there. I wasn't sure, do I take it out? Do I not take it out? You know, it's also complicated because I don't want to read stuff. And I tried to line it up straight there, as you can see, but my folder is not straight already. So I end up having it not quite straight, but I can still cut it, or I will still cut it straight at the end. So all I had to do is basically slide the second sheet. I hold it. I'm not sure if I have done it right or wrong, but it worked out really well. I just held the paper there and I pushed. And to laminate it everywhere, in the corners and everywhere, I will use my bone folder right here and just go all around it, every spot, so I don't end up having bubbles later. Once I was satisfied with the result of my laminating, I just cut the card to size 2.5 by 3.5 with a plastic piece on top. It's not visible right now, but I will put some bling on top of there, so you will see that there is a piece left over on the top. Because the paper is 6 by 6, I cut it 3 in the length so I could get 2 cards. You know, I didn't want to waste paper, So I decided to rather have a little piece of plastic on top there without paper. And I also decided to put some bling on top. So it's basically, you know, it looks like it was meant to be. And as you can see, I line up the card, always line it up on my mat because otherwise I will just not do anything straight. And see, there's a piece of plastic right there. And now all I'm gonna do is just wrap some washi tape around it, and this will be my little goodie already. So I will have a washi tape sample to give to somebody right there, and I don't have to make another card to put it in the back. And I thought it was quite decorative and good looking, so I end up only put 2 of them on there for now because I was convinced I have 3 different washi tapes, but I could only find 2 at that moment. So I end up just wrapping 2 around it. And once I was done, I would just put it into the pocket, and I also cut myself another piece of paper, and this one is cute by itself. I really liked the paper itself, so I didn't want to do much more to it. I decided to cut it smaller so I can layer my white piece of paper in the back. The cards I pre-cut at the very beginning, and here as well what I'm gonna do is just distress all the edges. You see, it makes the paper look different right away. So if you don't have many pattern papers or none at all, you can just you know, distress it. You can also use some at the beginning. Before I had any distress inks, I used coffee. I just had a little bit of coffee left over, and I would dip my finger into it and I would put it onto the paper. I tried to help myself, you know. Here, I did not know why the card looks so crooked right there. And every time I put it on my mat, it looked straight, you know, it lined up everywhere. So I wasn't quite sure what it is that makes it look like that. But I decided, whatever, I'll just cut a tiny piece off and hope that it looks better. You know, sometimes maybe it's just us, but I liked it afterwards. So all I had to do is to round the corners here. Oh yeah, I rounded the corners on the washi sample card as well, just because it's plastic and I didn't want it to be sharp. You know, if you do something like you laminate something or whatever, you know that the edges are very sharp. So I'm not gonna do much to this card. All I'm gonna do is just... Oh, there you go. I have my paper glue again. Sometimes I can find it and sometimes I cannot, even though it's the same desk and I'm in the same process, you know, of doing things. Sometimes I find my things and sometimes I don't. So I'm going to just glue it on top there. And it's the wrong way around, but it doesn't matter because I can still flip my card. Yeah, with the paper glue, I have to push down, you know, it just kind of does not really glue because it's a super cheap glue. I got it at Walmart for like, I believe 20 cents or something. So I got a bunch. I was stupid enough to get a bunch and now I'm trying to use that up. And I will also put some Wink of Stella. For those of you who don't know, they really do sell Wink of Stella at Michael's. Most of the people working there don't know where to find it, but I buy mine at Michael's. So I have not seen any at Joann's or anywhere else. So what I'm gonna do is just, I will line out the animals, critters, whatever you wanna call them. So I will just put Wink of Stella on each of them. And because bling needs to be everywhere, I also decided to put some gems in the corners there. And that's it. The card was done right there. Now I will continue with the easiest part of this, I wanted to, yeah, I could just have taken the ones from the baggie, but no, I wanted to make sure that my mix of colors is how I like it, and that's why I'm picking up all the little leaves from my mat instead of, just taking a bunch of them from my baggie. Why simple if we can do it complicated, right? So I'm just throwing them all in there, and I like to make a little shaker in the middle of my pocket letters. I don't know. I believe my very first one had a shaker in the middle. I'm just always doing that. And it's really easy. I do not use any tools or anything. What I do use is a very thin strip of double-sided tape. And I will just go right there where the pocket ends, you see, because there is a piece open in the pocket. So I go to the spot where it's sealed on the sides, and it's a little bit tricky, but it's completely doable. So what I'm gonna do is just put some double-sided tape right on there, and I will use my bone folder again and make sure again that I have enough of the table scatter in there. And yeah, I will just take off the backing, which was not that easy, again, because I can't see. And if I bend over too much, all you are gonna see is the mess on my head. So I tried to take it off there, and it worked at the end. And yeah, I just pressed the pocket and seal it. Nothing is going to come out of there, and just to make it look better, because you can see the double-sided tape right there. What I'm gonna do is I will just put a piece of washi on top. Yeah, I wanted to use the leaves. Somebody gave me this string of leaves, and I really wanted to use one, but I could not. I don't know, it just didn't look right to me. So I decided that I'm going to put some washi right on there. And because washi would not stick to it or hold up on it, I have experience with that. What I'm gonna do, and you will see me doing that, I will just take it off because I remembered that it's not going to stay on there. So what I'm gonna do is I will just put some double-sided tape right there underneath the washi, so it sticks right on top. But I'm still not satisfied, and I really want to use the leaves that were given to me. So I decided to just cut off 2 of those and stick them right there on top. And I'm going to use my silicone glue here. If you want to purchase that, oh, what's her name? I think Marta's Creations. She is, I follow her on Instagram. So if you click on my Instagram and on people I follow, you can find her there. She sells this wonderful, wonderful silicone glue, which is basically your hot glue in a bottle. If you only need a little bit of hot glue and you don't want to go get your gun and wait until it gets hot and everything, you can just use this one. So I'm not affiliated with her or anything, but a lot of people do love this glue. So if you want to try it out, you can find her on my Instagram. And I also decided to put some bling right on top there, and some bling, of course, right on top of the leaves. And I am using some art glitter glue on the bling just because the leaves are fabric, and I know that this is just gonna come off of there. So I'm trying here to use some art glitter glue, and it always gets clogged. I don't know, but I will use a needle and just, make it work here. I didn't put much on top and it dries clear. So if you have never used art glitter glue, and this is like, I'm advertising stuff, but I really want you to try out. I'm not affiliated with them as well, so I'm not getting anything from that, but it's a really, really good glue. Since Michelle got me actually 2 bottles for last Christmas, and it's almost Christmas again, and I'm still on the first bottle, so it is a little bit pricey, but it goes a long, long way, and you don't have to worry about it not sticking. You know, everything is gonna be sticking down with the glue. So now I'm looking at the pocket letter and I'm thinking, because I have no clue, once I start out, I have no clue how it's going to end, or I don't make a plan for what's gonna go where. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I saw the bling and I thought, hey, it would be actually cool to just put some bling into a pocket. And I wanted to go with the darker one first, but I decided to find something a little bit lighter because I didn't want the pocket letter to be too dark. So here I'm looking for some bling. And I decided to go with the strip of the dark yellow right there. And I will just cut it to size. I will make myself another card. So I will just distress the edges again, just what I did the whole time. I could have just distressed the edges on all of them at once, but I didn't know how many cards I'm gonna end up using. So I like to work one pocket at a time, as you can see. I tried many, many times to just cut myself 9 papers and then go from there. But really, I just can't do it. I don't know how people do it. It's a different way for me to make pocket letters, so I cannot do that. I need to work one card at a time. So here I chose my pattern paper that I want to put on top. I didn't want it to be too busy, but then I ended up putting some washi tape on top of it. So I did put some washi tape right there, and I found my paper glue again, as you can see. So I'm going to use that. I don't really like it, and I do have a small bottle somewhere with that, but they always get clogged. What am I doing wrong? You know, the small bottles, they just don't work for me, and it's so frustrating because I really like them, and if I just start out doing or working with them, they work great, but if I don't work with them for a day or two, they just don't work for me anymore. I have to squeeze really hard. So if you have a tip, let me know. So I'm going to line up the, yeah, I have to cut first, so it's the size I need right there. And I'm going to stick it down. I could have just stuck it down with a little bit of double-sided tape. It doesn't matter because it's on the plastic. But I decided to go with the removable glue dots. So actually the person can remove it without destroying the card. So I figured if somebody takes it out as a goodie, because it is meant to be one, and then they can just, you know, remove it without destroying the paper underneath. Because some people do keep all of the pocket letters they get. I do, and I like to look through them, you know. I don't want to destroy any of it. So, yeah, right here, lined it up and done. I think it looks pretty. Of course it does, because it's a lot of bling on one card. So just gonna stick it in there, and now I need to decide what to do with my last pocket. And I decided to go really easy way here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do something else on there. Yeah, I was deciding on what to do right there. So I have decided to cut myself a card like I had for my washi tape sample, because I wanted to keep it somewhat similar, you know, in the pocket letter. So I'm going to distress this. And this is, I think, the only card that I have used without having a white cardstock underneath. Oh, I'm sorry about my cam right there. My cam is going crazy trying to zoom in on what I'm doing. So I distressed this one as well. And I didn't like the white stripes in there, so I went over the whole thing with my distress ink. Sometimes I'm just having a problem with seeing white. I don't know. White can actually be very pretty, but sometimes I just dislike it. And yeah, once I have decided on the card, I'm going to pick out my alphas. And here I have decided to go with the Tim Holtz ones. I'm not even sure where I got them. Probably from either Tuesday Morning or Hobby Lobby, something on sale. I did not get them for the full price for sure. And I wanted to go with full, but the card is pretty big, and I decided to do 2 words there, and I'm trying to find the J on this one because it doesn't go in order. You know, the letters are not in order. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is to just spell out the words just full. I couldn't think of anything else, and you know, I just liked that one. So the good thing is there is 4 letters in each of the words, so I could actually make it kind of straight here. And it has lines, which helped me with being straight also. So that was a good thing. I still think it's kind of a little bit crooked, but it's as straight as it could be, in my opinion. And yeah, I believe, I'm not sure if I have done something to that card. Oh yeah, I'm going to, because I looked at it and I really wanted a little bit of something else on there. I decided to just use some washi tape, but I didn't have thin washi tape that would go with that. So what I decided to do was to fold my washi tape. Oh, I forgot the pumpkins. That's true. So somebody sent me those pumpkins with a bling in the middle, and I decided to put some pumpkins in the middle there. I was just thinking, hey, didn't I put any bling on that card? You know? So that's what I did. By the way, I also found my third washi tape roll, and yeah, right there actually. I found the third one. I was like, oh, there it is. How did I miss that? So I will just drop this one around the card so I don't forget. And once I'm done with that, I will just put some washi tape on the bottom and top of my card. And like I said, because I didn't have thinner one, I decided to just fold it over because I did not want the whole width of the washi tape to be on the card. So I'll just do it on the bottom, and I was glad that this pattern has a line, so it kind of helped me with being straight here with the washi tape too. And yeah, I'm just gonna put it there, and actually this is it for my pocket letter. So I hope you enjoyed that. You know, I hope you liked the voiceover. Like I said, I don't do it ever. This is the first time voiceover for a crafting project, but I will have a project share for this one, so keep an eye out for that. And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.